It's time for another musical interlude. Let's get started. Talking with people with music in their genes, their blood, and in their soul. You are watching Musical Interlude. Hi, it's time for another musical interlude. I'm your host, Casey Bell, and Lady Redneck is here with me today, sharing her musical journey with us. Let's take a look. When did you first realize you wanted to be in the music business, or when you first realized you were a musician?
Well, let's see. I grew up in a really musical family. My dad was a music major. My mom played the piano, and my dad played a whole bunch of instruments, wrote music, and they were always in bands. So it kind of wasn't even like a question of not being a musician. I started guitar and piano when I was 6, and violin when I was like 9, and we all played a whole bunch of instruments, and it's just what we did as a family. Like we would travel around and do shows. We did like fair circuits, weddings, corporate events, always at all the talent shows and everything else. And so, because kind of was never a question, that's just part of who I was.
So that kind of answers my next question, because my next question was, when did you decide to actually go out there and be in the business? But it seems like you were in the business from the start. So was there ever a time where you thought you should be something else, or was this just, you knew this was it?
Yeah, actually, I grew up, we performed all over and we always did cover songs or songs my dad had written, and we made a couple CDs that did really well. But about 5 years ago, because I've written music my whole life, and so about 5 years ago, I decided I wanted to record some of my music, and I moved away from my family. So they're still all playing up north, but I'm in Texas, and so I'm down here kind of doing my own thing. So I started recording just some of the songs I'd written. And so about for 5 years now, I've just been doing my own thing.
So then that actually probably answers my next question. Being that you were recording CDs, you basically, by the time you started, could you say you already knew where to begin and where to start, how to get into the business, how to get into the studios, or was there anything you had to
Yeah.
learn on your own?
Well, we'd always done it. When we did the 2 CDs that we did before, we did them up in Utah, and we had hired studio musicians, and they were never songs that I'd written. So it was quite a bit different here to go into a studio, bringing my own music, showing them exactly, the sound I wanted. I play some of the instruments on some of the songs, and then my producer usually does the rest of them. And so just between the two of us, like, I think it's different in the sense that because it's like my baby, and I want it like in my head when I write it, I hear it a certain way. And so I want it to sound just like the way that I'm hearing it. And so, before it was always like our band, it was always the group. So it wasn't just my own little thing. So I guess it's different in that sense. Um, just that it's just like, if it's awful, it's my fault. If it's good, it's my fault. If it's bad, it's my fault. So.
So talk about your latest single, Kiss Me. What was that, or who was the inspiration behind that song?
Okay, so I've recorded, I have six CDs out now, and almost all of them are original, but I'll put 2 cover songs on each CD. And so Kiss Me was a cover song. It was from a group called Sixpence None the Richer. I think they said it released in 1998. And just always liked that song. I don't know, sounded just kind of fit my personality, I guess. I don't know. So
Have
nothing.
you have you been able to hear their reaction of your cover, of their cover?
Um, well, I've had a ton of fans tell me that they've downloaded it, that they love it, they listen to it. It's been awesome. So it's been a great response. And then I've done a lot of fun things around the song, around my release. And in fact, tomorrow on my Facebook page, I had fans send in pictures of them and their loved one. And I threw it all onto a video, and at 12 o'clock tomorrow, Texas time, just that song with all of their little love pictures will be on there. So it's fun. I think everybody's really seemed to have really liked it. So it's doing well thus far.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any advice you would give to someone who doesn't actually have the experience you have starting out, or to those who, because I'm sure you apparently never experienced it, but I'm sure there are people out there who do not have the support you have, who, parents tell them, don't do that, that's a hobby, go get a real job. So
Yeah.
what advice or encouragement would you give people who realize, just like you, this is who I'm supposed to be doing, who I am, what I'm supposed to be doing?
I would say go for it. Follow your dream. Don't give up. Don't let anybody tell you no. Don't if you just believe in yourself. I mean, if you know it's what you're supposed to do, then you do it, and don't let anything stop you. And you never know what the reason might be. Sometimes because some of my values, I'm very much a Christian and believe in God, and some of the things that I share, I've had other people say, wow, that touched my life, and you don't know how it helped me. And it's helped in ways that have helped get them out of really bad situations. And so it might not even always be your music, but if it's your calling, you do it, because it may be a different reason even than your music, or it may be your music, but you've got somebody's life out there to bless, and somebody to help, and somebody that needs you. So
Awesome.
that's what I would say.
So is all your energy going in on this album, or are you in the background working on more music?
I'm always in the background working on more music, but about half of my energy is on still promoting that one. And I've already last week I recorded another song. So I actually do new releases once a month. So I crowdfund, and then I release it, and then I crowdfund and release it. So it's just a constant cycle of, so I have to kind of have energy going in both just to keep the momentum.
Awesome. That's a great idea. I never thought of the whole crowdfunding and then releasing it to the people. Great idea. That's a great tip for those who are watching.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. So is there anything you learned along the way, one or two things that kind of took you off guard that maybe you wish you would have known prior to, that anyone getting into business, you would like to tell them, you should know this before you start, or you should do this before you start?
I think so many people want to just wait until their music's perfect, branding's perfect. You just need to start. You need to start. You're going to grow as an artist. You're going to develop as an artist. I think one of the most important things, and that's something that helped me more than anything, was I took a course right at the beginning. I didn't have money backing me. I didn't have big labels. I didn't have anything backing me. It was just me. And so I bought this little course, and the lady in there that I learned from had given me invaluable advice, and it just propelled my music farther ahead than, light years ahead where I would have been had I not done that. And just, I think, always be open and be learning. Throughout this whole journey, I keep taking courses, and now I've actually written my own courses to help musicians that are just starting, because so many people look at music. I think with a lot of musicians, you've got the right brain, the artistic, but you don't like the business side. Well, if you're going to decide to do music, you got to do the business too. Or else it's just a hobby and call it that or whatever. But if it's a music business, you need to treat it as such and invest in yourself, and spend time learning, spend time figuring out what your strengths are, your weaknesses, where you need to grow from, maybe the best ways to do different things. And so I would just say, something that that I'm really grateful that I learned just along the way, and that I probably would have even put more emphasis in, is just learn from others. Just take those courses and learn everything you can, because it really does make a difference with your music business.
Yes. Thank you for that information. So
Oh, yeah.
I only have one more question for you. And this is a fun question. And this is pretend, so the person could be dead or alive. But if there was someone out there, producer, singer, musician, composer, doesn't matter. If you had the chance to work or collaborate on a song or a project with someone, and they can be famous, not famous, whoever it is, who would that person be? Why do they inspire you, and why would you choose them to work with you?
I would choose I would choose Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, because she is such an amazing lady. She's still alive, of course. She, you know, people just see her and think, oh, she's just this beautiful lady that sings and is just sweet. Well, they don't know that she's also, like, she's an amazing songwriter. She's written she wrote I Will Always Love You. She's written some of the most amazing songs out there. And she's very talented, and she has got a mind on her. She's not all just looks. And so I think I would enjoy working with her because of her creativity, her knowledge of the music business. And plus she's just nice. And I'm sorry, I like working with nice people. So yeah, I would love to work with Dolly.
So kiss me. Kiss me down by the broken tree house. Swing me upon its hanging tail. Bring your flowered hat. We'll take the trail marked on your father's map.
That's all the time we have for you today on Musical Interlude. I want to thank our guest, Lady Redneck, for taking the time to stop on by Musical Interlude, and to the audience, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your day.